Hi, my name is Ashanti, and today I'm going to be presenting my x-ray tube. So basically, I made this tube out of an old wine bottle, and then these are old tissue rolls, and then this glass envelope is an old soup bowl. And then these are obviously just tape and papers. So first I want to get started by saying this is the x-ray tube. It's what makes x-rays possible. And then I'm going to walk you through that whole process. So here we have the glass envelope. This could also be metal. I chose to do the glass envelope. Basically, it's just a glass or a metal enclosure of the x-ray tube. And its main function is to create a vacuum environment for more efficient x-ray production. Next, I'm going to be speaking about the negative and the positive end. So the negative end is the, let me turn it this way because the words are backwards, but the negative end is the cathode. And basically the cathode is what provides the electrons to make x-rays. The anode is the positive side, and this side is what provides the target for electron interactions. So basically, the cathode is what provides the electrons, and this end is what receives the electrons. So in order to receive those electrons, we do have to talk about our target. I don't know if you can see that. This is the target here. The target is made up of tungsten, and the electrons that are coming from over here, they're sent here at a really high speed. And once they get here, that's basically, this is what converts them into x-ray. Next, we're going to talk about the filament and also the focusing cup. So the filament is down, it will be down here, if you can kind of see it. And then this will be considered the focusing cup. The filament is just like a coil of wires, which is also made up of tungsten, and it heats up from electrical currents, and then it emits electrons through a thermonic emission, which forms the source of electrons that are needed for x-ray production. And then the focusing cup is basically what surrounds the filament, and it is what also shapes the electrons that are emitted from the filament, and it makes sure that it goes in a narrow and straight line that can be sent to the target. So now we're going to talk about the tungsten disc. So basically the tungsten disc is right here. I have that labeled if you can see it. Sorry, I'm not that best of a recorder, but if you can see it, it is a piece of basically metal that is kind of like embedded or forming in the target area of the anode. And basically what it does is it rotates, and it is able to spread the heat over a larger surface. So that's what it does. And then I have the stator, which is right here. They're both. And the stator, it surrounds the rotor. So also we have the rotor here. This is the rotor, and it is where the anode is on the positive side. So the stators, basically, when they get electricity, they create a rotating magnetic field. And once they create that rotating magnetic field, it causes the rotor to spin. And once the rotor spins, it helps spread heat. By doing that, it helps to make better x-rays, and it also helps the tube life itself. And then last but not least, I'm going to talk about the anode stem. This is right here. It is connected to the rotor and the disc. And basically it just acts like a heat resisting support shaft that holds the anode and the in place while it spins. So that is what I have for you. Not the best. I'm not that big at creations, But yes, this is my x-ray tube, and that is how this works. Thank you.